Hello everyone, it is Peter Sam the Narrow Gauge Engine here, and we're doing the final instalment of ranking all of the seasons. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to rank every season that we've visited, so that's seasons 1 through 7 with the pack, and we're going to rate them worst to best. Are we ready? I think we are. Oh my god. So in last place, of course, it was gonna happen. It's season 7, isn't it? I think I was a bit too harsh in my ranking every season 7 episode video, because I actually had an okay time revisiting this. I mean, don't get me wrong, like half the episodes are shit, but it wasn't that bad. All of the new characters are pretty fleshed out and they have their own distinct personalities, which I think is something that, needs to be addressed and praised about this season. They have really good new characters, and there are episodes like Toby's Windmill and Gordon and Spencer that just make it that much better. However, then you get to stuff like Percy Gets It Right and Bad Day at Castle Lock and you realise it's a bumpy one. However, let's not dwindle upon this season any longer. Let's move on to our next pick. Next up, we have season 1. Yeah, when I look back upon it, season 1's fairly bland. Compared with like season 2 and 3 and 4, it doesn't really have much going for it. There are a few odd episodes in there, like Dirty Objects and The Flying Kipper, that really make it stand out, but it just doesn't bring that oomph that we're looking for. I'm not saying the season did anything wrong. I mean, it was bound to happen because the stories that the Reverend made were so, well, kind of bland in a way. Like episodes like Thomas's Train and Thomas and the Guard that are just really like nothing stories. But still, I don't mind watching this season. It's still a good ride. And let's move on to our next pick. So fittingly, in 6th place is season 6. This episode is a mixed bag, alright? It's got a lot of good episodes and it's got a lot of bad ones. It's very mixed, and in a way that plays to its advantage, because when you have the good episodes and you watch them, they're all the more good because you've just watched a crap one and you can see the potential. Episodes like A Friend in Need, Thomas the Jet Engine, Percy's Chocolate Crunch, they all have that amazing thing about them. And then you watch James and the Red Balloon and you realise, oh, this series is going to the dogs. Honestly, if you just removed all of the bad episodes from season 6, it would be a pretty good season, But we can't do that, so it goes here at number 6. So in 5th place is season 3. See, I think this season tries too hard to be season 2, and it falls flat on its face, if I'm honest. Some of the episodes are really good, but I think the problem is the episodes that were created by the filming team and all of them. The Audrey stories in this are just, they're the same thing as season 2. They're fine. The proper problem with me stems from the ones they created themselves, barring Henry's Forest, because that one's actually good. Episodes like The Trouble with Mud and Thomas Gets Bumped, can you get them away from me, please? They seem very, nothing stories, like the ones from season 1, Thomas's Train, Thomas and the Guard, Thomas Gets Bumped, The Trouble with Mud. They're all sort of the same, but the Audrey stories are fantastic, especially Oliver's ones. I feel like this was a very good season for Oliver and a very good season for Mavis, because they both had two very great episodes. Escape, Oliver Owns Up, Mavis, Toby's Tightrope. They're all great, and Henry's Forest, as we've already said. But let's move on to our 4th pick. Now, in 4th place is the Pack miniseries. Yeah, I know, I really shouldn't have put it up this high, but I mean, I couldn't help myself. They are 13 beautifully written episodes, and it was very hard for me to put any of them at the bottom. It's half the episodes, but double the fun. I mean, come on. Even the bad episodes, in quotation marks, like Nelson Gets Carried Away and Byron Saves the Day, they're still that good. And the good episodes are just really good, like, Mud Glorious Mud, Another Fine Mess. Beautiful pieces of work. I will never understand why, Hit decided to scrap the show, because it was going places. But let's move on to our top 3. So in 3rd place is season 4. I went into this series thinking that season 4 was going to be my favourite. I think I may have misjudged that. Yeah. When I remember watching season 4, I remember only watching the first half, and that was for a very good reason. Because the second half of the standard gauge really does not, it doesn't bring the same energy and the same, vibe that the narrow gauge brings. It just feels like the bit with the standard gauge sort of needs something to it, I just think you should have had the whole season as narrow gauge, and I know that sounds bad, but I mean, they're cool as hell. In this season, you've got the all-time greats like, you know, Grandpuff, Sleeping Beauty, and then you watch Thomas and Stepney and Passengers and Polish, and you realise that, that's sort of not nice. Now, bearing in mind that, like, you know, it's not as bad as season three's sort of thing it's got going on, but I still don't think it deserves the number one spot for the fact that the standard gauge bit and the narrow gauge bit, you know, there's just a different sort of thing going on there that I can't get into. So let's move on to our second spot. And again, quite fittingly, in second place is season 2. This season is all about expanding upon the characters we already have, and I love that. It seems that for like every bad episode or mediocre one, there's always 2 good ones that blow me away or astound me. Yes, there's, you know, the Runaway, Better Late Than Never, Percy and the Signal that, you know, are just either mediocre or really, really bad. But then you've got the Duck quadrilogy, you know, you've got Edward's stories, Edward's Exploit and Old Iron, especially. The Daisy episodes, Percy's Predicament, Percy Takes the Plunge, they're all there, they're all good, and they're all, you know, really, really strong episodes. Season 2 has faults, I know, but, you know, I mean, you can't hate the season that expands upon Edward's character the most, when, you know, you've got season 7 that doesn't give it the light of day. So let's now move on to our top pick, and we all know what season's coming. I mean, we all knew it from the very start. It's season 5, obviously. Like, it's so good. There is not one episode I even dislike or even think is mediocre in that set, you know. Every one of those 26 episodes in season 5 has at least one good thing about them. It's very much like the spooky season with episodes like, you know, Duncan Gets Spooked, Haunted Henry, Toby and the Flood, Put Upon Percy. The list goes on. I have small, minuscule problems with episodes like Gordon and the Gremlin and Double Teething Troubles, but apart from that, I mean, this lot is solid. Like, it's a solid set of episodes. If you want my full thoughts, there's a playlist on my channel somewhere where you can find season 5. But yeah, I can't stress enough how good they all are. So go watch them. Go watch all 26. They're only 5 minutes long. You won't regret it. But yes, that is the definitive ranking of every season we've looked at so far. And oh my god, what a wild ride it's been. But don't worry, the fun's not over yet. We still have all 13 of the episodes of Rating the Railway series to go through. I'm sure that'll be a fun time, you know. It won't be as, you know, visually beautiful, but it'll still be pretty alright. So I'll see you in the next one, and bye-bye.